it says 23 hours 53 minutes. It just doesn't want to end, you know. My rest time. So 7 more minutes. And but I think, you know, like I needed this. I needed this respite. Nobody's complaining too much. You know, my customer, his customer, you know, I explained to them the situation, right? And again, the funny thing is that, sorry, I didn't drive that much, you know, during the day. So all my US hours are perfect. Because, you know, as long as you drive, what is it, like 8 hours, 15 minutes every day, you will never run out of your hours, you know. You don't have to do a reset in the States, right? And so I was driving, you know, with this, because of the weather, of this load, poor fuel consumption. So I very rarely, you know, I drive like whole day, like 10 hours, 11 hours, because then right away you start running into these issues with, you know, not having enough hours. But usually I don't have that problem. So this is the first, as always, like I said, in Canada, sometimes it gets me, this one, the 24 hours in 14 days. And so I shut down. The restaurant is open, pretty good food in there. This morning I got yeah, lots of double trailers here. So I got my hiking poles, and I just walked on this road to the entrance. I found another restaurant in there, but there's a couple of truck washes actually here, but I wasn't sure if they were open or not. And then I did my the last piece of paper I needed to do was my invoice, you know, what I sent to the broker so I can get paid. And then I sent a copy of that to my factoring company. And so that was the last piece of paper I haven't done, and so I did that one. Just, you know, use the old invoice as a template, put in the new numbers, and I found an old invoice for this particular broker, Landstar. So the address is already there because they have the same corporate address. I just have to change the load number, amount of zeros after the comma in the price, and we're good to go. And then I went inside and asked the guy, hey, where's your washrooms? I walk inside, you know, on the left side there's a restaurant, on the right side there's a small convenience store, like where you go pay for gas, right? And usually they have the restrooms right there, right? They have the restrooms. What? Yeah, my truck starts falling apart. So they have the restrooms right there. So I asked the guy, where's the restrooms? He says, are you a truck driver? I say, yeah. He says, go around the building. They have showers, they have restrooms. And I'm like, what the heck is talking about? What about the people that go to the restaurant? What, there's no washrooms in here? So I go outside, and of course, since this is Petro Pass, right? So the same situation as yesterday morning in Estevan. You cannot enter. You cannot use the washroom unless you have the Petro Pass fuel card. So I went to the Flying J, the next door. That one is as dark as if we're expecting a bombing or something, you know. Like everything is dark. I see some people on ladders changing lights. Something went on over there with electricity, I'm thinking. But the truck stop is open, so I found the washrooms. I got some coffee. Coming back, and then I still had 2 hours to kill, right? Okay, 23 hours 57 minutes. And I went to the restaurant, and I thought there should be restrooms for the restaurant patrons, right? And sure enough, right there in the lobby, basically just do 2 steps towards the restaurant. Right there, there's restrooms. That old guy over there. Are you a truck driver? Go around the building. Like, what's wrong with using these restrooms, right? I was in the restaurant yesterday, spent like 30 bucks. I spent $23 today. So anyway, and I sent updates to my Landstar broker. I sent updates to his customer because that lady wants me to keep her in the loop as well. And I told her the story. I said, this is what's happening, right? I said, I've been here since yesterday because of this mandatory 24-hour service. And she says, that's fine. And then I was just thinking about this because I didn't see any phone numbers or contact names, you know, for the unloading site.
Head south toward North Service Road.
And so I wanted to ask her, and then she just texted me, you know, like as if she was reading my mind. She says, your contact on site is this guy, Dave. Oh, that's what I saw in the phone number. So I called the number. Nobody's answering for like 10 rings. And then finally some guy says, oh. So is this name of the shipper? The guy says, yeah, who are you looking for? I said, is Dave there? He says, Dave. I said, yeah, this is you're the energy place, the railroad terminal, right? And he says, I don't think we have Dave in here. And I look at my text and it says Dwayne. I said, I'm sorry. I said, not Dave, Dwayne. And the guy says, that's me. I said, okay. So I got the right guy. And so we talked about this. 24 hours, 0 minutes off duty. But I never buy this BS. What if there's a mistake, right? What if there's poor signal? You know, so I'm gonna wait till it says off duty 24 hours, 1 minute. And so because, you know, they're right there, it's a very small town, there's nowhere to park there. There's a Esso. And this guy confirmed my fears. He says, yeah, that Esso, you won't be able to park there with if you have a big rig. I said, yeah, I got a Jeep, I got a booster. He says, best is just come to our yard and we'll unload you in the morning when it's, you know, unless you want to unload at night. I said, no. I said, we're not unloading at night, I'm sorry. Let's unload in the morning. And he says, and I was looking at the Google Maps, and right there, like a couple of kilometers north of the town, just like they said on their website, you know, where this big rail yard is located, I see a couple of businesses. One was Codlock, some kind of a fuel Codlock, and the other one was some kind of a management company, resource management or something. And so I asked this guy if their yard is anywhere near these places, and he says, oh, actually that Codlock, he says, that's perfect, we can unload you right there. Because, you know, sometimes I forget that this is a rail machine, but it has tires, right? And so that's the plan. The plan is, okay, 24 hours, 2 minutes. Okay, I think now we should be good. On duty. Inspection. Any notes? No notes. 13 hours to drive, 14-hour shift, 37 hours in the cycle. You see? And that's how it yesterday was showing me the same thing pretty much. Alright, so let's get out of here. So we have to go north on Highway 2. And as I was doing my invoice, I checked the load boards. Didn't see anything interesting on the Canadian load board, but there was a new load on the American load board, and it says shipper location Ohio City, CO, the abbreviation for the state, CO, Ohio City, CO, and then it goes to Northern Ontario, somewhere near Sudbury or somewhere there, and it says loaded miles 633. Okay, so I said it's probably not CO, Colorado, but Ohio City, Ohio. So I emailed the brokers. I said, could you please check your...
Turn left onto North Service Road.
Check your origin
On North Service Road for 1 kilometer.
address. And as I went to the restaurant, I took my phone with me, and I see he emailed me back. He says, no, here's the zip code. It is Colorado. And I'm like, I checked the distance. It's not 630 miles. It's 1955 miles. And the worst part is that Ohio City, Colorado is right in the mountains, southwest of Denver. Just, you have to take 70 and then go south from 70. I've been there once in my life. Two times. I've been there 2 times. I'm never going back there in winter. Even in April. I was there once in April on I-70. Chain law was in effect on one pass, but thankfully only for single axle double trailers, like what FedEx, UPS, those pups. For regular trailers, no chains. In April. And so this guy,
300 meters, turn left onto Saskatchewan 2 north.
this guy is looking for a suicidal trucker to go into Colorado mountains in winter and do a relatively cheap load to Ontario. And I just said, I didn't say anything about the rate. I said,
Left onto Saskatchewan 2 north.
I said, I'm sorry, I don't want to go into Colorado mountains in winter. Not happening. And by the way, we're having a meltdown. It's +4 Celsius. Alright, can we go any more slower, please, so we can take a look at your fancy pickup truck? Man.
Continue on Saskatchewan 2 north for 51 kilometers.
And the lady in the restaurant was saying there was a big pileup on this highway. A couple of days ago, they had lots of snow here. And she said there was like seven or 8 big rigs were involved. So I think, when I finally shut down, in Ontario, I'm gonna do some maintenance on the truck. First off, I need to change the steer tires. And then I want to do, it's been a while since I did that one, I want to do a top set, you know, where they adjust injectors, because I think this is a good odometer reading for that, because the truck is 4 years old. I think last time I did this was 2 or 3 years ago. And that can affect, you know, if it's not properly your injectors are out of alignment and stuff, so it can affect your power and fuel economy. So it's a good idea to do it maybe once every 2 years. And so tires, top set, what else I gotta do? And I gotta finally I'm gonna buy that tuner. I'm gonna buy that tuner for the Cummins. That will give me extra 200 pounds of torque. Can be very useful with loads like this. Well, the first leg of my today's trip is done. We're leaving Highway 2.
The next left onto Saskatchewan 11 North.
Actually, there's nowhere to go, I don't think, because over there, that's local road. And this is Highway 11. So that way is Saskatoon, and that way is Regina. Just got an interesting piece of information, right? When I was sitting at the truck stop over there, I was talking to this Dave guy who turned out to be Dwayne, and I asked him if somebody can unload it for me, because I said, you know, it's a big and dangerous machine. I said, I don't want to break the floor of the trailer. And the guy says, yeah, I think we can find somebody to offload it for you. Okay, and then he sends me a text message which says, due to liability concerns, we were instructed not to unload your trailer for you. And I asked him, I sent him a reply. I said, can I at least get a spotter?
Continue for 172 kilometers.
And I didn't see an answer yet. But if they're afraid of liability, then that's what, you know, Ritchie Brothers, they have similar policy. They wouldn't even help you, you know, like spot you, right? So they're not gonna watch, because they're afraid that if something happens, let's say you drive off the trailer and get killed, they're afraid that then you will sue them for wrongful death if they were watching. Hey, why didn't stop me, right? Of course I'm kidding, but now I have that. It really makes me feel, you know, I was started getting, you know, it's always before delivery, you know, you start to feel good because you're gonna get paid, you're gonna get rid of the load, and now all of a sudden there's a huge obstacle between me and the money to get this, because I can damage my trailer or I can damage the machine, you know. Oh, look at this guy. Well, regular heavy haul is not good enough for you? Man, that's a huge monster. Some kind of a farm tractor. While we're getting somewhere, I just talked to my friend who works for this big heavy haul outfit, and he used to work on railroad, and so he knows these machines from his railroading days, but also as a trucker he moved them. You know, this particular shuttle wagon, because there's another one, there's a couple of other brands, right? So he knows this machine, and I asked him for some advice, and he says, but I asked him, how do you disable four-way steering? And he said there should be a switch in there. He says look for a picture with 2 wheels turning and 2 wheels straight. He says that means that's the switch when only one axle is turning. To Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. The sun is shining. Excellent weather, +3. So 36, 37 F.
Take the Trans-Canada Highway, Saskatchewan, 16 West exit.
Now they're gonna be a nasty stretch in here with some lights. But after that, I'm jumping right back on the freeway. Circle drive, that's what I need. Yeah. And from here, I'm only 243 clicks away from my consignee, so that's gonna take, what, like 3 hours? So yeah, like that's the plan. So just to reach the consignee, but maybe prepare, take some chains off maybe overnight, and then charge my GoPro, 2 cameras, make sure I can use that app on the phone. I'll have to test it, see how. Well, actually, yeah, I can do that. I can do that testing. You know, I'm gonna put the camera in front of the trailer, like still connected and everything, but I can do that tonight. I put the camera right under the front axle of that monster and then go in the cab and see if I can still get the picture. And I'm recording now with 9, and I don't remember if my 8 is it charged or not. I forgot. I usually have one of them charged at all times in case something interesting happens. I don't like this stretch because I don't want to go in that lane because there's a bunch of stores in here and entrances to shopping areas, and there's also a bunch of potholes there. And I cannot turn from that lane anyway. Like the ramp, the turn on the ramp towards 11, it's too sharp for me, so I have to be here. So I'll be turning from the middle lane in 750 meters. Yeah, this load, you know, it barely sticks out on the sides, but when I have something like 11-12 feet wide, I definitely stay away from that lane. Sometimes I just go in the middle between curb lane and this one, and that really adds excitement to the local motorists' commute. Did you see that guy this morning? +4 now. Everything is melting. Man, the weather is crazy. One day it's -30, another day, the next day it's +4 Celsius. It's a tricky corner. I think once I was at this place, I think they sell it's an agricultural dealer, but they also sell chains and binders. Because sometimes it's not that easy to find a half an inch chains.